Hello everyone, my name is Daphne Willis and welcome to Daphne's blog.
Today, I'm going to tell you about my experience and how I felt when I finished the book Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Okay, so first of all, I know I have been reading this for a couple of months now, a couple of weeks, and I have been giving you updates on the summary and what I've been thinking of each part. But on this video, I'm going to talk about the general idea and my general opinion of this book.
So I'm going to start with a very brief summary. The story starts in the center where they build babies, where they program them to be in a different certain program or a certain type of human. If you don't know them, you can see my other blogs. Then after this, we go to Lenina and Bernard. Bernard is like a different kind of human than the people there in London, that is the city we're talking about, in a futuristic dystopic society in which there's very intelligent people and then there's very non-intelligent people, but these are programmed because parents don't exist, families don't exist, and you don't have relationships or anything of that sort. So to feel something, they drink soma and they pray, I guess, for Henry Ford, that is the one who built the assembly line. There, in that world, the consumism is very big. Like, the most important thing is what you have, what you own. And also, Bernard wants to go to this reservation that is in New Mexico in the USA, and he wants to go with Lenina, so they ask permission to the director, and the director is very offended because he doesn't like how Bernard is acting lately, and he threatens him that he's going to take him to Iceland, but he doesn't care. So Lenina and him go with the director's permission, but not before the director tells them a story about how he went one time and he lost a woman there because of a storm. So it's very dangerous. When they get there, they meet this guy. His name is John. He speaks English and he's the only one who speaks English there. There, they do have relationships, they do have mothers, families, love, and they don't really have any money. So everything is very, not futuristic. Not like that. Not like now, sorry. Like before our time. Or maybe in some tribes, in not very developed places, it is like that today. So John tells him his story and his mom's story. They're not from the reservation. His mom is from the city. And the story he tells is the same one that the director told to Bernard. So he's surprised and he links them together. And he thinks that he can use him as an advantage for the director not to send him away. So he invites John and Linda, that is John's mother, to the city. They get there and they become instantly famous. And also, John is the weapon that Bernard uses so he can stay in the city. All of this fame becomes great for Bernard, but not a lot for John. John feels used, and this is not how it works where he comes from. So he isolates himself. Then Lenina wants to be with him, wants to sleep with him, because in the city in London, it's very normal to sleep with whoever you want, because relationships don't exist and parents don't exist, so you won't have children. So John feels very offended and shocked and hates the society. He isolates himself before it gets worse. But before isolating himself, his mom dies. So afterwards, he goes to a cabin outside of the city and he enjoys life there by himself. He grows his own food and he's there peacefully. But one day, a group of people came, looking for him because he was a savage and all of his fame. But they see him and he shouts to them and tells them to get away because he wants his privacy. But they don't listen to him. They come back that day, at night, and they found him because he killed himself and he hangs himself. As I told you, this is a very brief summary. It's not complete, and if you want to know a more detailed summary, you can see my written blogs. And for the end, I pretty much explained it as it is. I chose this book because I usually love utopic books that are actually dystopic. For example, Divergent and The Hunger Games. So when I saw the list and I saw this specific book, I thought, why not? Like, I've never heard of it and it should be good. Like, I know that I like one of the themes, so it may be good. And after I read it, like, honestly, it wasn't like enjoyable for me to read. Like, it was low and I really didn't like that. But the general idea after I finished it, like how I, like the end mostly, really impacted me. Like, it made me think more about how society today is gonna impact society tomorrow. Like, who knows, maybe in a couple of hundred of years, we're gonna be that society. Our children, our grandchildren are gonna have that society. And I don't want that. I think that this book is trying to show us how consumerism is gonna end our society. It's gonna end our culture, it's gonna end our world as we know it today. Because we're forgetting what the base of life is. And that's like love and caring for others, being there for others, and not only caring about yourself, like individualistic purposes, like not being selfish, because today that's all what life is about. Finding the best job. It doesn't matter if you're ruining someone else's life, if you have more money. That's what's wrong with the world today. People should think more about the rest, not only about themselves. Also, governments are being really controlling. Like, they want to control everything, and big companies as well. Money controls people right now, and that shouldn't be happening because it could happen how it is in Brave New World. 5 different categories, and the government decides who goes into which. Not having mothers, not having fathers, not having a family. Like, who is going to educate the children of that world? This is why I think that it's a big impact on the society. Because even though obviously our society today is not like that, it could get like that someday. And I think people should be very conscious about that. Also, the way he created this world, how Huxley created this world, I think it's great. Like, very creative. It has a lot of fundamentals. Like, in every aspect of life, it's explained. And it's like, it has bases, and every character is like they're portraying some aspect of society, like the rebels, the controlling, the followers, and I think that is very important as well. I think Huxley did a great job, and I actually recommend the book. Even though it was hard to read and I didn't enjoy it at first, when I finished it, the message it like got to me, it's really big. It's something that made me think a lot about the people I hang out with and if it's really the people I want to be around with, because you have to think like what is going to be best for the world and what is going to be best for you. And I think this book really portrays that. Like, not only hang out with people because they're going to give you power. No, you should hang out with them because they're going to make you a better person and make the rest of the world a better person. And this is why this book lacks, like, the story lacks of that. And it's like a reflection on what it shouldn't be. Because obviously there's parts of the book that are obvious that you don't like. For example, the categories, or that there's no families. That is something that we obviously don't want. Or for example, Soma, how people have to like drug themselves to feel something. That shouldn't be like that. And this is why I think this book is really great, because it gives a comparison on what is wrong and right, and how everyone obviously has a different perspective, but I think that that book shows like everything I don't want in society and makes me think of what I really want. So I think this book is really reflective, and it has a great idea of what he's trying to explain. So that was it. That was my review, my summary. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful if you needed it. If you have any comments, like do you agree with my opinion or do you don't, you can send them to me via email. It's on the blog. Please feel free to contact me. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you another week.